Hello everyone, I'm the Holy Hermit and I welcome you to a new gameplay commentary for Dota 2. The hero featured in this video is going to be Phantom Assassin. So I don't know if you're a fan of the hero or not, but this video, my job and my goal is to convince you of how an amazing carry she is if you've got the right circumstances for it. So of course, Phantom Assassin will be played by me, and I have a friend called Hi You Guys, he's playing line support with me. So the nature of the game, I always describe that before we get into it. Some games are back and forth, others are all about crazy builds. Well, this one is neither of the two because it's going to be a different game altogether, and I never try to spoil the ending, and I'm going to stay true to that as well. So let's get into the game, guys. I'm going to talk to you all about basics of the Phantom Assassin, the builds you can go for, what builds are good for her, what builds are kind of bad, and also how you need to change your builds according to the circumstances and the situation right in front of you. So let's go over the enemy team first, and as I always say, if you're at my newbie level and if you want to win the game, I always try to pick last because you should always try to counter pick the heroes they've picked so you have an easier chance of winning, right? Because this is Dota 101 for silly newbies like me, and this is my job, my humble attempt to show you guys like how much difference can you make by just actually starting a game and picking the right heroes for the order. So with that in mind, we look at the enemy team. They have a Troll Warlord, one-on-one Mr. Bashlord Troll here. They also have a Phantom Lancer, which is all about illusions, as you saw in my last video, or last video I should say, of how PL is being played. We're going to let the horn go away. That's so loud, by the way. We have Lena doing lots of magic nuke, and Pudge being Pudge, pulling people into bushes and being nasty altogether. And Zeus, the almighty, ever-present nuking dude. We have, of course, me as Phantom Assassin, the carry. We also have Lion as a support. We have Sven on the mid lane, actually. This is a strange game, definitely. Sven going mid, guys. Never thought I'd say that before, right? But here we go. Vengeful probably going safe lane, and Crystal Maiden is going to be the other support. So, my hero, Phantom Assassin. I'll quickly go over the starting build, and then I'm going to talk about the character. What I usually like to start her off with, quite simply, if you're a melee hero, rule of the thumb is always try to get your Stout Shield, followed by some healing, some basic healing, a Tango and a Salve, and 2 Ironwood Branches. Do bear in mind her initial damage is pretty low, so you have to be pretty good at determining how you want to play her, how you want to last it, and I'll talk all about that. But before I get into it, I'm kind of disappointed, because this thing here is showing that my blades are level 1, whereas my blades are level 3, guys. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I've got PA Arcana set here. So I've got a really good score with PA, so I've practiced her a lot. But enough blubbering about, let's get into the game, guys. Why I chose to upload this, you'll start seeing it very soon, and it's me playing as a carry. So what is Phantom Assassin? She is the infamous or the famous hero, depending on how you want to look at her, where she's the only unique carry in the game who can pretty much one-shot the entire team if circumstances are right. And but I do mean when I say that, I'm not exaggerating, that Phantom Assassin is known for hitting the hardest crits in the game. When she gets going, nothing gets in her way. And let's talk about the skills, and I'll explain why that is. Her first skill is called Stifling Dagger. Now, since the last couple of patches, the changes have been made to her, which means the Stifling Dagger now does pure damage. Now, pure damage is something, as you all know, that's not blocked by any of your armor or your magical resistance. So, whatever number it says on the paper, it's going to hit you for that damage. But do bear in mind, it deals half the damage to hero. So, at level 1, it's going to deal 30 pure damage to hero. Now this skill gives you a 50% slow at all levels, and as you level it up, it deals more damage and the slow duration lasts for longer. So it's a ridiculously good skill because it has a 6-second cooldown, guys, and it costs 30 mana to start off with, and at level 4 it only costs 15 mana. And is this going to be a kill, guys? There we go, my friend Lion picks up a kill, so pretty good times. So that's Stifling Dagger for you guys. It's basically your initiation tool. Phantom Assassin is a hero that can initiate from out of darkness, as in you could be very, very far away from a enemy hero that you want to kill. And this hero is, look at that, this guy really got too ambitious, and I think he's going to die there. Yep, I get the kill for that. So Lion's died once, he's got 1 kill, and he got Troll kill, so good start for us altogether, guys. But let's move back to the skills again. The second skill is called Phantom Strike. Quite simply, it's Phantom Assassin's way of blinking. Some heroes like Anti-Mage and Queen of Pain can blink onto a place. Her blink works when you target any unit, whether that's enemy or your own unit, as in you can target creeps, you can target enemy heroes, you can target your own heroes, and you blink to them. If it's an enemy unit, that includes enemy heroes and enemy creeps, the person you blink onto, on that person you will have a bonus attack speed of 130 for 4 attacks. So in a way, Phantom Assassin, you know, you can see where this is going, because she doesn't need attack speed at all, because the second skill allows you to blink onto that person, and then you'll have 130 bonus attack speed for the next 4 attacks. And that's ridiculous, right? The next 4 right clicks, you'll deal a lot of damage. Now, as you level it up, the bonus attack speed does not change. As you can see, all changes is the cooldown. But if you look at the synchronicity between the 2 skills, guys, you have a slow that can last for 4 seconds on a 6-second cooldown, and you then get a Phantom Strike, a blink ability to catch onto that person, which would have a cooldown of 5 seconds, and it's just ridiculous, only costing 50 mana. So these 2 skills can give you an idea of how good Phantom Assassin can initiate, how far away from she can. Look at the range, by the way. If I bring the curve, look at that. That's how far she can throw a dagger. Ridiculous, right? And then the Phantom Strike has a slightly less cast range than that, but basically tells you that PA can jump onto Hapless Foes from miles away. Now the next skill is what makes her annoying in so many ways, but not as annoying as Void, because Void does some Void-like things. This hero, look at that, he's chasing. I made sure that, oh, there we go. I threw the dagger on her and I blinked. This time he's probably going to live. And the reason why he lived is because I jumped on him and he spun the axes. Remember the Troll Warlord video I uploaded, where I talked about his ability that if you get damaged by the melee axes, you have a miss chance of 60%. So that's why I didn't get all the attacks onto him. But never mind. But let's talk about our own evasion. So Blur is the ability for Phantom Assassin that gives her a normal evasion to right click attacks. As in all physical attacks, you get evasion to that. Level 1 gives you 20%, and bear in mind, at level 4 it's 50% evasion. So 1 out of 2 attacks will miss, and that's nasty. That makes her so unpredictably tanky, right? I mean, you'd see the hero's HP is only 700, but if you take this into perspective and you have an enemy right clicker against you, Phantom Assassin can go toe to toe with most heroes, and this is again the reason why Phantom Assassin is so strong. And also remember, the other ability it gives you is Phantom Assassin is invisible to enemies on the minimap. Like you see the crosses here for enemy team. If they're not looking here, like if they don't like bring their camera onto me, they won't be able to see me just by looking at the minimap, because the Phantom Assassin blur also makes her, you know, kind of invisible to enemies in a way. Not invisible, but you know, the map doesn't notice it. So there we go. Now the final ability, it's been 5 minutes and I've been talking about other abilities, that's how cool they are, but this one is the biggest of them all. Now it's a French word called coup de grace, which means obviously mercy blow or the mercy hit, and it really is that amazing. Now look at that. I'm going to throw dagger. No fight. Let's talk about the skill then. Or this is going to be a team fight. Am I waiting for a team fight? Oh yeah. Looks like I'm going to fight. I throw my dagger. See, I'm waiting for the axis to stop spinning. Am I going to go into this one? No, Zeus comes in. I think Zeus is going to die here. Maybe? No, I think we just all back off. So it was more of a scary gameplay played by all of us, but I think it was a smart call, because running into Zeus, lots of magic nukes, it's pretty scary. But, let's talk about coup de grace or the mercy blow. As the name suggests, guys, at level 1, it always keeps the chance same, as in there's a 15% chance for your right clicks to deal 230% critical hit damage. But that's not, you know, that's not all, because as you level this ability up to level 3, now your critical hit damage goes up to 450%. Look at that, guys. I'll wait for the axis. I still walk into it. Hopefully I won't miss all. And there we go. We killed the troll for the next time, and it's going pretty good. So talking about coup de grace, at level 3 it gives you a 450% critical hit damage. Now this is the highest crit damage in the game. Of course the chance is kind of low at 15%, but when you get lucky, as I said, when Phantom Assassin gets going, and when the luck gods, the RNG gods are on your way, or are they kind of blessing you, then you can really one-shot people. Because as you can imagine, as you level up your character later on in the game, this combination of skills here, along with lots of damage that you build on Phantom Assassin, you can pretty much one-shot anyone in the game. Even the kind of good tanks would probably go up in 2 or 3 hits if you actually ran critical hits on them. So there we go, guys. Now let's talk about her combat abilities. I mean, I've talked about all 4 skills here, but what really is a significant... Oops, I think Pudge comes in. Let's see what we do. I think I'm just going to walk away here, because my friend was putting a ward down there. They have a Pudge, they have a Zeus, they also have a troll there. There's no way I can go in there. But surprisingly enough, my awesome friend actually survived, so there we go. He hexed him and he's walking away. So no harm done there, guys, and I think I made the right choice there. So guys, let's talk about why Phantom Assassin is one of the hardest carries in the game, right? Now, Stifling Dagger is her ability of initiating from a long range. It's something that deals pure damage, as in, you know, doesn't matter what they have. If you can cast ability onto them, you know, they'll take pure damage. And remember, this dagger can also crit thanks to your passive, so your ultimate. So your ultimate not only gives you the right click prowess, but also your daggers can crit, which you'll see on later on in the game. But really, you don't use this for damage, you use this for a slow. It's a 4-second slow that when it crits, it's like a cherry on the cake, really. But normally, it's to slow an opponent down, and they're basically haplessly, slowly walking away, waiting for you to Phantom Strike on them. So you slow them down, you jump on them, you do a lot of damage at a pretty good attack speed, thanks to the bonus attack speed you get from this. And the next skill, our lion dies here, unfortunately. And the next skill lets you stay in the fight, and it gives you evasion. So when you jump into an enemy hero, they try to right click you. What do they try to do? They try to run away, or they try to right click you, because if they try to fight you back, you have a pretty good evasion chance. And you also have your ultimate working for you, because if they want to get into a right click battle with the Phantom Assassin, that's one of the silliest thing you can do in the game. You should always try to avoid that. But the other thing is, you can't really avoid that, because if you simply try to walk away, the dagger is on such a low cooldown, 6 seconds, that basically you're always going to be on top of the enemy heroes. And thanks to a combination of Phantom Strike and Stifling Dagger, no one can run away from you. So this is Phantom Assassin for you guys. If it's a one-on-one fighting battle against you, I think Lion's going to come in. If he would have stunned, we probably would have had a kill there. But never mind. So sorry about the slow pace of game. I have 2 kills so far, but you're going to see some awesome things this game, guys. And I really mean awesome. Look at that. When the dagger crit, I'm like, I'm going to go in. And Mr. Hi, you guys, secures the kill. And he's like, yep, kill secured. I'm like, yeah, sure, man. So there we go. But didn't matter. Zeus made a mistake there. He should have initiated earlier on, but he didn't. Now he waited, and it's just one kill after the other. So those are the skills for you guys. Now let's talk about the items and the build you go for a Phantom Assassin. Now I'm sure smart guys like you would understand that if a hero deals a lot of critical hit damage and has an innate ability where for the next 4 attacks you don't need attack speed because you get so much attack speed from the skill itself, all you would like to go for is pretty much damage, right? Because if you have damage, the higher the damage, the bigger the crits are going to be, and the nastier things are going to become. Look at that, Lion placed an amazing ward here. We have vision, so we're simply going to back off. So yeah, guys, so let's talk about that. So basically your goal with Phantom Assassin is to not go for attack speed items or like tanky items. You quite simply go for damage items, items that primarily feature damage, and anything else you can get on top of that would be a good thing. So certain choices about PA, and I'm gonna talk about a weird fact that I see most PAs go for, and that's a wrong build, and that's the build I go for this in this video has a reason for it. Now let's talk about this. Now the first item I usually like to make on a PA usually is phase, drums, and maybe a BKB. So if not, I don't want drums. I'm probably going to rush from phase to a basher into a BKB. So BKB is a core item for Phantom Assassin. It lets you get into the fight and it lets you stay in there, because remember, you will have lots of evasion on your PA, but what you don't have is magic immunity or any kind of ability that reduces the magic damage taken from you. Do bear in mind that your strength gain is not the best in the world. It's only 1.85, which means you are quite squishy to magic damage. So almost all the time a BKB is a core item for a PA, because it lets PA get into the fight and jump onto people's faces and basically destroy them with her ultimate, right? She needs time to do that, and BKB provides that, which means that she can roam freely with BKB on and no one can initiate on her. So BKB quite simply is an easy choice. So look at that, he stopped his axes, he misclicked the axes, and I'm basically going to jump in again. Troll uses ulti, but you know, what's he going to do? Crit gets him, and I think Zeus basically just gave up here. Oh, he was waiting for Lion to do something. Alright, look at this, guys, look at this. I'm going to shut up and let you watch. So he gave up on me. He's like, okay, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? And I basically blink onto him and walk away. So he couldn't get the Lion because Lion hexed him and he was mana draining him. And I went to the side and I barely got away. So that was pretty, cheeky from us. We got the kill at Troll Warlord. I bet that's what they were planning, because, they were all setting up for a gank. Troll just went ham and he initiated in the wrong way. So there you go, guys. As I said, BKB is a core item, but sometimes you have to make choices, and some games, if they don't have enough magic disabled, all they have is magic nukes, which are not that scary, then maybe you can get away without using BKB. But almost all the times, I'd say 70-80% of the times, BKB is something you should get. So I TP in, I see, okay, this is a juicy kill. He Pudges uses ultimate, so I TP in, secure the kill, and I thank Venge. I'm very sure I do. You don't see the in-game chat, by the way. I usually talk a lot. I thank people, you know, why not? They help me out. Alright, so that's Phantom Assassin coming in. Oh, he runs away. I think this is going to be another kill, I bet. So he used the ability wrong. We know which one's the real one because he's quite simply making clear that, okay, I'm the real guy. Right, Lina comes in. She ulties the other guy. Vengeful Spirit, I should say. And I think this is going to be it. Yep, I jump onto her. And another crit, guys. So, you know, I was passively slowly farming my way into the game. And eventually they started making mistakes. And that's what PA utilizes on, right? For her, the game is all about, you see a fight, you throw the dagger in, you jump in with a blink strike, do your 4 or 5 attacks, and just walk out. You know, you're not always meant to be there running and chasing people down, because you have this innate ability to initiate from such a long range. So your job should always be, a good PA should always see that, even in pro games, would be that she'd throw a dagger, she'd use a blink strike, and, you know, that would be it. Now, Lion's here. I see Lion. I was talking to Lion. Initiate on him, and there we go. See, look at that. Now I'm going to try and chase him. Look at that. I can stay far away. That's the beauty of PA, right? And I think they get TP support. We don't go. I think that was a smart call, but I think we did have someone at the bot lane. If I go to free camera here, I haven't even talked much about game, guys, right? Because it's my first game as PA, so I'm trying to cover all the basics. Alright. Yeah, they had 4 heroes here. There's no way we could have gone in and done things. We did have one of the heroes, Sven, but I think this was a smarter call, considering we're playing safe. We're actually ahead, so why not, you know? Let's go back to player perspective, Phantom Assassin. And there we go. Oops. Okay, I went to the base or something. No, I stood back. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I just had a mental blank there. So, there's a fight in the mid. Troll spins the axes, and Pudge is doing Pudge-like things. Lena's probably trying to stun, and we're waiting for the fight to see if we can initiate. Now, you'll see, guys, I usually won't go into it unless there's some kind of initiation. And I think this is where I played bad. Now, I saw all the spells have been used, and I simply jump in to clean up the fight. There we go. Lion gets the well-deserved kill, and there we go. There's one hero hiding in there. Let's see if we're going to be able to find him. Yep, I see him. And I'm going to show you the initiation range, guys. Like how ridiculously far away from I can initiate onto a target. Like if I can see someone around. Okay. Oh, that's such a great earth spike by Lion. And I just blink in and go. And there we go. It's like 15 minutes in. It's already a godlike spree. And do bear in mind, guys, if you're saying, oh, these guys are such noobs, you're very right. We are all noobs. We're playing on the newbie bracket. So that's why you see some silly mistakes here. And I always say that these videos are unintentionally funny because of the stupid things people tend to do. But let's get back to the build, guys. I talked about you make damage items. Now, most PAs, I would say about 60 to 70% of PAs, in my humble opinion, at our level, make a big blunder, and that is to go for an item called Battle Fury. Now, think about this item, guys. A Battle Fury, in my opinion, is not always the right choice for Phantom Assassin. Now, it gives you a cleave, it lets you farm very fast, but more often than not, it's an item that if you buy it, it gives you no HP or anything, it keeps you squishy, and it makes you pretty bad in team fights, as in you can jump in and you can cleave and all, but after 3 or 4 hits, you are so squishy that you could be blown up to smithereens. So I almost always never recommend a Battle Fury unless it's a game like this where you're so far ahead that you're basically destroying the other enemy team that you can actually afford yourself to get yourself a Battle Fury. So Battle Fury is a great item, but not almost always. Okay, P is going to come in and fight, and my lord, this guy almost died there. If he'd stayed there, let's see, I'm going to figure out which one's the real one. It's very simple. It's no hard science. So that's Pia dead. And there we go. Troll Warlord's going to jump in. Now I'm going to talk about another reason why I built Battle Fury in this game. To me, Battle Fury is a situational item that you should build when you are trying to counter an enemy. It's a great farming item for heroes like Anti-Mage, but almost all the heroes, Juggernaut and Phantom Assassin included, to me, that item is wasted. So if you're playing a normal game and if you don't have an illusion hero, and that's basically me giving you an answer, that a Battle Fury is good if they have a very heavy melee lineup or they have heroes who spawn a lot of illusions. Now, I saw, as I said, let's go back to the beginning of the game for a second, is where I said that I always try to counterpick them. I saw they had Troll Warlord and I saw they had Phantom Lancer, right? I saw these heroes and I also saw Pudge. The way you can kill Pudge is by doing a lot of burst damage, and not burst magic damage because the man is immune to magic damage, is burst physical damage. So a hero like Phantom Assassin is perfect there. So the reason why I chose Phantom Assassin for the game was to counter Pudge and Troll Warlord. PA can stand her own ground because of the evasion and all. If the troll tries to right click, or if Pudge tries to do something, there's a chance you can crit on him and scare the heck out of him. But when I saw there's a Phantom Lancer in the game, this was a game for Battle Fury, because if I don't get Battle Fury, this game could have been lost, simply because if the PA gets if the PL gets farmed, he can spawn tons of illusions on you, and if you don't know which one's the right one, you're in a lot of trouble, right? I mean, his illusions are going to right click you, they're going to miss some of the attacks thanks to your passive, but the ones that will hit you, they will mana drain you, remember, because you can buy Diffusal on Phantom Lancer. So a Battle Fury, even though I still stand by it, is a bad item choice for a Phantom Assassin, and I might get some hate on that, but you know, that's my humble opinion. It's good in certain scenarios. So a Battle Fury in this game is perfect because I can counter PL illusions and I can do other things. So this in a way is my damage items, and it gives me some HP regen and some mana regen. But generally the item build I always go for on PA, as I said, I would go into Phase, Drums, into a Basher, and then a BKB, and I'll make that into an Abyssal Blade, and by that time things are nasty anyways. So there we go. But in this game I decided to get Battle Fury as my core items. Two reasons. First, I got lots of kills, I had enough farm, and the second thing is it was compulsory for me because of the Phantom Lancer in the enemy team. So there we go, guys. So that's basically me talking all about Phantom Assassin and how you build a character. And as I said, it's about understanding what the enemy team is going for and then you trying to counter it. First, simply by being the nasty guy and counter picking them. And the second thing is by, you know, making the right item choices. It's so important in every game that you don't follow just one guide, but you think about the choices you're trying to make, right? And I hope, like, that's, in my humble opinion, that's all, or my humble way I'm trying to convey that to you guys is, even though you have a set build in mind, you should look at the game and then decide on the items you need to buy. Now this game, as I said, I could have gone for a BKB instantly, but then I realized that Zeus is so underleveled. Look at that guy, he got lucky, but he makes a big mistake. I'm like, okay, I even ping him, like, there he is. Are we gonna get him? Okay, Pudge saves him, and yeah, he he survives. But again, guys, right, it's all about countering, as I keep saying. So let's look into the game. I've got 1,200 gold right now. It's 20 minutes in, and the score is pretty much one-sided. So I bet you've figured out by now that this is not going to be a close game. This is going to be one of those games you can sit back and you can enjoy the silliness of the enemy team that they tried to fight me on wrong occasion. So I haven't died yet, and I've made a couple of mistakes here and there, and I said that I didn't know how to initiate properly, but more often than not we've made a good choice. And look at that, see, I'm a carry and I'm sitting back. A weird thing, right? Normally you want to go in and kill people, but Phantom Assassin, as I said, my initiation range is so far away that I don't have to jump into fights unnecessarily. You know, I can stay back and I can look for the openings, and this is the mistake most PA players make, because what they will do is like, oh, there's a single hero there, I'm gonna jump on him. Yeah, you can jump on him and you'll probably kill him as well, right? And am I gonna get him? There we go. So look at that, guys. I waited for it, right? I waited for him to initiate. I let my supports pull out a move or two. I just want to like basically feel out the whole battlefield, see where enemies are, and when I see an opening I jump in. And not just about jumping in. The second aspect of PA, the most important one I would say, is once you've figured out that you've seen once you've jumped into a fight, you should also know when to get back, because it's very important as PA. You're still a very squishy hero. Are you gonna jump into this one? Let's see. I think we are. Yep. The heroes, I looked at the map, they were chasing the other hero. This gave me time. That troll's going to spin axes on me. 60% chance. Still, I'm going to hit 1 or 2 hits. And that's all I needed. So there we go. Let's see if Pudge is going to follow us here. Pudge is probably not going to follow us, and that's another thing. So, Helm of the Dominator. Why Helm of the Dominator? I think it's one of the better items to go for Phantom Assassin. You can make Vlad's. You can argue that Vlad's gives you armor, and if you start off with the Ring of Basilius, it gives you some mana regen for daggers. It's pretty cool. I like it. That's one of the builds you can also go for. But I prefer Helm of the Dominator on PA, because first I can actually go and get an Alpha Wolf. It's pretty good, you know, or I can like dominate any other creep, and I can stack camps with it if I'm having a bad game or it's like a close game. This one I'm pretty much free running around killing people when I see them, but normally you can dominate a creep, you can use it for damage, you can use it for stun, and you can use it for utility where you can stack camps with it. So Dominator is good for me. The other thing obviously are the stats of the item itself. It gives you 20 damage. As I said, remember, you make damage items on PA. It gives you 5 armor, which is very good if you think about it, guys. You know, you're an agility hero, so you already have good armor, and any more armor on me is pretty good. against Troll, against Phantom Lancer, and even against Lina to a certain extent, because remember, once Lina's done throwing her spell, she actually becomes a very formidable right-click hero, because the int gain is high, and her passive, the only passive, the third skill, gives a ridiculous attack speed, so, you know, good times. So this is all me trying to, you know, like come up with item builds and, you know, play. It's a very common build if you think about it, but I'm afraid I couldn't find the as much as bad as talked about using a Battle Fury. As I said, this is one of those perfect games. So there we go, we kill another hero. And Zeus ultis, I don't know why, what the reason for that ulti was. I think he was just, I think he'd given up by now. I don't know, they still could have had a chance if they farmed properly, but let's see what happens next, guys. So I'm 13-0 now with 6 assists, 73 last hits. Didn't farm that much, but didn't have to because I farmed heroes. And now I'm pretty scary, right? Like, right now I'm sitting on over 200, almost 300 damage, if you want to say that. And look at that, what a mistake she makes. And that's what I can do right now. I can completely jump into heroes like that, and I have so much farm. I have decent HP where I can, you know, eat a stun or two or eat a spell or two and still do damage. And the Helm of the Dominator will help me lifesteal, of course. The obvious reason you get a lifesteal item is to lifesteal, right? So I'm pretty scary right now, and the next item I get is a Basher. Now Basher, let's talk about this item, why I think it's core on most of the heroes I play. Now Basher, one thing PA lacks is you can jump onto an enemy, right, and you can blink onto them. Now sometimes, you know, it's not enough. Sometimes you don't crit at all. But Basher gives you that extra chance that when you jump on an enemy hero, you have a chance, a 25% chance to actually stun a hero for 1.4 seconds. So think about what I said. You build damage items, it gives you 40 damage, pretty good. 6 strength, which means, hey, more HP is always nice, right? And it gives you a passive chance to bash on a target. And if you're a lucky bash lord, you might get a proper bash on the first hit, and that's just going to be, that means the hero is dead, right? So it's going to be good time. So Basher, I very much think so, that no matter how you play Phantom Assassin, to me it's a core item on PA because it gives her one thing she doesn't have, and that's a reliable stun. It's still unreliable in a way, but it's her only form of hard disable. Every other disable is a soft disable, and by that I mean a dagger can slow you, but it can never stun you, right? I'm desperately trying to keep my wolf alive. You know, I like alpha wolves because, you know, for a carry, it's a lot of damage, and not just for carries, even the team around me gets a lot of damage. Now bot ranks, we were pushing it for a while. We saw they were very adamant in trying to protect it. I'm like, okay, let's switch the lane and let's find a few more kills. So Troll's going to chase around Vengeful Spirit. Let's see what happens here. Am I going to jump into this? Alright, Phantom Lancer's coming in. I blink on him. Hopefully he's going to go away. There we go. And look at that. He clearly makes it like evident which one's unclear, which one's the fake one. And that's what people do wrong at low level of Phantom Lancer play. I mean, they could be good players, they could have really good reflex, but you have to trick people with those illusions, because if you don't, you know, all I have to do is stand and right click. So yeah, so the next item, guys, think about it. I'm so far ahead, I can get a BKB if I want to assure my dominance, but I'm so far ahead, I think I decided to finish my Basher, and I wanted to make that into an Abyssal Blade. So remember, the one problem I talked about, PA having no hard disable, Abyssal Blade would make sure that, you know, you're okay with that, because it gives you, the bash chance is still there, but on top of that you can actively use the item and you can stun an enemy. And not just that, you can stun an enemy through a BKB. So an Abyssal Blade is the best item for a damage carry in my opinion. And you know, PA here is no. So look at that, I'm waiting to walk away. Did you see what I did there, guys? I think I made a smart choice. If I'd simply jumped into when Troll was spinning his axes, it could have been slightly bad, you know. Oh, Wenj is probably going to die. I felt bad for that. I could have survived there, mate. I just wanted to get out. But yeah, so I wait for Troll Warlord's axes to go down because I don't want to have any missed chance, and then I just blink on. I blinked instantly and I killed the guy. So 17-0 so far, guys, right? It's going pretty good. Now Troll buys a BKB, pretty good choice for him, but then again, I think, yeah, it's a pretty solid choice because we have so many stuns in our team. Oh wow, we have a nasty lineup, guys. This one's actually one of the better lineups I've ever had in a game, where, you know, it's just, you can never go wrong with stuns, right? So Abyssal Blade is ready at the 27-minute mark. Pretty good farmed PA, and we're just gonna run around and look for kills. I think I'm probably gonna get a Roche as well because, hey, why not? And my friend and I were joking. He never played Lion before. I'm like, okay, man, try to hex him. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, try to hex him. Let's see if he hexes him. He probably doesn't. Is he gonna hex him? Oh yeah. And we just started laughing. It's like, I've never seen Roshan turn into a toad before. I'm like, yeah, man, he turned into a fish as well. if you give him the different item. But enough jokes, guys. So I just secure I'll secure an Aegis now if I want to, and it's really just me trying to make sure that I don't die really. And I can buy more items, you'll see later on, but I just decide to, like, I don't want to be cruel to the enemy team. I'm just gonna play the game really. So yeah, guys, now one thing I'm going to talk about, since I have covered the basics now and it's almost near the end of the video in a way, right guys? So let's talk about a few little in-game mechanics for those of you who know like all that I've said so far. If you know all about PA, then I'm going to talk about a couple of mechanics about PA. And the first one is the choice of boots. Okay, now again, this is, in my humble opinion, slightly smart talk, even though it isn't. I'm sure you all know about it anyways. But let's talk about, the question is whether I should go phase boots or whether I should go power treads. Now I still believe that power treads are good, but phase boots get that little edge, and I'll tell you why, right? If you think about it, guys, when you throw a stifling dagger, how does stifling dagger work? You throw it on an enemy. See, we figure out which one's the real one. And this guy's probably gonna fall. So yeah, so what phase boots lets you do, as the ability says, first of all, it gives you damage, because remember, for PA, damage means higher crits, so that's something you want to build on her. And the other arguments you can have on the other side is, hey man, yeah, treads don't give you damage, they give you the ability to tread switch. Very true, right? They also, it gives you attack speed, and you become slightly more tanky with it, right? Because if you can set on strength treads and all, it's a good choice. I'm not saying it's a bad, but if I were to evaluate them, I'd say 51% I'm gonna give the awesomeness factor to the phase boots, and then 49 to the power treads, and any other boots are pretty much wasted on P, in my opinion. Look at that, this is the crit load, and that's a 1476 damage crit. Bear in mind, I also have an Aegis right now. So yeah, why are phase boots good? I haven't explained the reason, I've said the simple reason. Now let me talk about the gameplay mechanics, right? When you throw a dagger onto an enemy, I used Abyssal, by the way, to secure a stun, as you saw that, guys. So when you throw a dagger onto an enemy, he is slowed, he or she is slowed. But more often than not, the enemy is surrounded by other players, if they're all melee heroes, or you might have creeps in the vicinity, right? Now this is where phase boots are amazing, because the trick is, I guess the whole combo, if you want to know that is you throw a dagger, you use your blink strike, and then you instantly activate your phase boots. It does two things. It gives you movement speed, so you can catch up to an enemy hero. So if they're trying to flee away, or if there's someone like a Darkseer, for example, then they can surge themselves and they can remove all that slow or whatever, right? Or if there's a Legion Commander who purges the friendly hero that's been attacked with her heal skill, right? Now what phase boots lets you do is you can catch up to them thanks to the increased movement speed, but the more important ability is the phase ability itself. Now it's so trivial that it doesn't make sense, so let me try and explain that. When you throw a dagger onto someone, there are other heroes around them, and you, more often than not, with PA, you can get body blocked, right? Remember the Ursa video where I talked about that you're like a kid in a candy shop where you're trying to catch up to your opponents, and you can't because you're a simple like right-clicking hero. Same thing is kind of true for Phantom Assassin, because if there's a big group team fight, the guy you want to jump on, if you want to make sure you want to like kill a particular hero, phase boots lets you do that, because no matter how many heroes there are, whatever big or how many obstacles there are in the middle, you can press the phase boot button and you can move through them ethereally, and you would damage the hero you're after. So phase boots, in my opinion, are a better choice for PA just for that reason. And the combo, as I said, quite simply is you throw the dagger, you blink strike into them, and instantly activate the phase boot button, which makes sure that you are always going to be on top of them. So there we go. I'm using Abyssal Blade again, and I was able to kill Pudge, and they think I'm dead, and obviously that's not true. Lion's gonna die, but that's bad times for Mr. Troll Warlord. So there we go. Troll's dead, and they're all pretty much dead. I'm 26-0 with Phantom Assassin. Now I haven't died yet, but hey, I died with Aegis and all. But look at that, guys. You can see the swords are different because there are level 3 Arcana, but my character doesn't look like level 3. That's some weird defect. Anyways, we jump into this. Are we going to be able to? Yep. And yeah, that was a rampage, guys. It happens, right? It happens, and everyone gets lucky. So I feel bad for the other team, like but There we go. So I'm 29-0 guys so far. This is Phantom Assassin for you. I'm going to quickly cover everything I talked about in the video of what a good Phantom Assassin is. Phantom Assassin is a right-click heavy hero. She's a physical carry who's all about getting into the fight at the opportune moments. You're not a hero who's there to tank attacks. Far from it. Your job as Phantom Assassin is to look for an opportunity, stay far away, blink into a target, use all the charges of the Phantom Strike, the 4 attacks, do damage, then walk back. And you can go back in and you can initiate. Obviously you can stay in the fight if you see you're winning, you don't have to walk away. But usually if it's a tough fight, all you do is you jump in, attack, get back, and rinse and repeat. If it's a lot of magic heavy lineup against you, because that's a very good counter to Phantom Assassin, remember, if you want to go into a right click battle against her, it's not the best thing at all because she's got so much evasion. But magic damage works wonders for her, right? So you can counter with that, but the way you can counter that is simply by getting a BKB, right? Item choices is pretty simple. As I explained, you go for phase boots into a Helmet of Dominator. You can also go into phase treads, basher, BKB. You can also get some lifesteal in there, but usually focus on items that give you damage, and that also helps you in other ways. So Phantom Assassin for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this newbie level video of mine. This is a pretty good gameplay, right? 31-0 with 8 assists. And the XP per minute is kind of preposterously high. Lots of gold per minute as well. So thank you for watching the video. If you've been watching these and if you're the silent person who just enjoys them, that's good with me. But if you have any feedback on these videos, please do share with me because it helps me to make better videos. So take care guys. Until the next video, I don't know what character it will be. I'm just waiting for a good gameplay. I'll upload that as soon as I get it. So take care of yourself. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.